Hypothetical situation. You specifically asked your family not to perform any religious ceremony in the inevitable event of your demise. However, they completely ignore your request and take your dead corpse to church for the last rites. Fuck, man! It turns out there is an afterlife. And you can see all of this happening. Would you consider this a wrongdoing on their part and haunt them?
No, I probably wouldn't haunt them. I'd probably have a sense of humour about it. If I understand your definition of the afterlife as being one where I can potentially come back and haunt people, I don't think I would. I mean, I might, like, leave them a note or something which is like, hey, thanks a lot, dickheads. I mean, I'm not bitter, but I did ask for a humanistic funeral. Would have been nice if you could have honoured my last wish, dick. Don't worry about it. Anyway, bye. That would probably be it. I probably would haunt some people, though. Yeah. Some people. Some people deserve it. Number 7. What do you like in a song or band? Not specifically what band you like, but what is it about the music that you like that makes you like it?
I went to the symphony on Sunday, and I have decided what I like in music. And it has to be fast, it has to be bassy, it has to be loud, and it has to be gritty. Stuff that's like soft and flowy and well put together, I don't like it. I hate it. I need it to have that very like earthy sound. I listen to a lot of punk, I listen to ska. Those are my main 2 genres, really. I've been getting more into hip-hop, dance-esque stuff, but I'm not like a huge fan. I'm trying to think of like somebody in particular that I really like, and there's really no one person. It's just like random songs here and there. I love MIA. In fact, she's a really good example. Her most recent album Kala seems more put together and more well produced and flowy, and it's still good. I love it. But I like Arular better because she did everything. She self-produced it, and it sounds gritty. It's nice. I love it. So that would be it. And I couldn't even tell you what my favorite bands are because they change every week. Who has inspired you most as an atheist?
I suppose the obvious answer would be like Richard Dawkins. But no. In terms of who's inspired me the most, probably Christopher Hitchens. Simply because he doesn't give a shit. And his book, God Is Not Great, which is a pretty good book. I mean, it's dry in some areas, but overall, pretty damn good read. And it explains so eloquently and fantastically why we need to be seriously thinking about religion as a force of evil in this world. He's going to die in like 3 years because of all the smoking and drinking and boozing and shagging he does. Shagging? I don't know if he does any shagging. That's gross. Ugh. So yeah, Christopher Hitchens. He just doesn't give a shit. He's mental. He's awesome. Number 8. What is your atheist story? In other words, how did you become an atheist?
I wish this wasn't as vague as it is, but here it goes. I was sitting in the parking lot of Chick-fil-A probably almost exactly 2 years ago, and I was with my ex-boyfriend, who was my boyfriend at the time. And we were discussing something having to do with the universe. I think it was like how the universe is constantly expanding, or it might have been a discussion on black holes. And like, because I had heard somewhere, I know this is going to sound like very wrong, but I heard somewhere that black holes, like, they'll eat up something and then they spit out something new to create new planets, new life, etc. And I think that's what we were talking about, and all of a sudden it just kind of clicked in my head. It was like, fuck, there is no God. It's that simple. Science can pretty much explain everything, and if it can't, it's well on its way to explaining everything. And even if it's, hundreds of years off, it's still out there, and I'd much rather put my faith in something that I can hold and touch and see and taste, etc., than something I just can't. And also on top of that, I have never really felt a connection to a higher power. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and I've gone to church for 1 years, and there was never really a time when I was like, Jesus is alive and well in my heart. They told us that the Eucharist was the body and blood of Christ, and even in 2nd grade I knew they were full of shit. I have just never felt that connection with a higher power. I believe I've always been too rational for that. What does the word feminism bring to mind?
I suppose initially it brings to mind like pictures of women being chained to railings and burning bras and shouting at men, but when I really start to think about it and consider it, I think of strong, confident, independent, powerful, smart, and funny women that can be funny, and I support them 100% of the way. There was a time when I considered myself having feminist ideologies, but then I kind of just decided to consider myself just someone who supports gender equality. Number 9. How has feminism been a positive and negative influence on you? I'm including both the rational equal rights feminism and the crazy-ass radical separatist feminism.
Well, feminism has obviously been a positive influence on my life. Because of feminism, I feel more secure in my womanhood. I feel more secure in my gender and my sex. I like being a woman, and I also like the fact that I don't have to conform to societal norms to feel like a woman. Like I've said in previous videos, I don't shave my armpits, I don't shave my legs, and yet I still feel more feminine than a good chunk of the women out there. And I'm very secure in my sexuality as well, which I think feminism has indeed helped. Negative, obviously, is the radical feminists who they'll comment on some of my other videos and they're like, well, you don't know what you're talking about because obviously penises create all the problems in the world. And I just think those women are jaded and they haven't talked to the right people and they're just not being open-minded. So yeah, obvious negative influence is that if an old school feminist meets me, by looks alone, they're probably going to assume I'm already on their side, and then once they find out that I'm not, it's just like this big letdown for them, and I don't know. I think it's stupid. I am more of an equal rights activist than anything else. I just like to call myself a feminist because, excuse me, because it has done so much for me to bring me to the point that I'm in right now that I think I need to pay it homage, or homage, if you will. Are you aware of the rising men's movement against radical feminism? Has it affected you in any way, and what do you think about it?
I am aware of the men's movement. It hasn't really affected me really because up until a few years ago I was not considered anywhere near a man. I was always a boy, and I don't really consider myself really truly adult now. I am legally adult, but I still feel kind of childish, to be honest. I mean, I can be mature, and I consider myself quite mature generally, but I don't feel like I have all the responsibilities of an adult, and I don't, and that's probably why. So it hasn't really affected me yet. I don't know if it will in the future. Maybe it will. Bonus question: how exactly do you pronounce your username?
How do I pronounce my usernames? I think a lot of people have been wondering the same thing and haven't asked. My username is pronounced PandyFackleresque. When I was trying to figure out a username, I wanted to be PandyFackler, which is, yes, it is a Ween reference. It's been my nickname for 6 or 7 years now. I'm nothing like the girl in the song, god damn it. But it's a Ween reference to a song called PandyFackler, and some fuck had already taken PandyFackler, so I was like, okay, well, I want something that sounds like PandyFackler, that is PandyFackleresque. And there it was, right there, right in front of me.